part of that low-cost mega beer haul yesterday was this fella, Holidays in the Sun, from the Northern Monk Patrons range, part of the British Culture Archive. It is a DDH double dry hopped double IPA with an alcohol content of 8.7%. So this beer has certainly got some wallop to it. So without further ado, I'll get cracking, open the can. Good evening. Massive, juicy aroma immediately from pouring. Good evening. Bloody hell. Are you levered already? Good on you. Good evening. That Imperial Kirsch, I need to get hold of that. It looks like I'm going to have to go direct to Vocation. So this is the one tonight. 8.7%. Good evening. Can't fault you for being walloped. I'm trying to be good, I am. Trying. You know, it doesn't always work out. So lovely juicy nose on it. 8.7%. So this has got the airy nads on this. Good evening. How are we all? So hazy yellow pour, white head. Oh, what a juicy nose. So it's a double dry hopped double IPA. And, you know, Northern Monk, bloody hell, they are outstanding there. I mean, I didn't know Northern Monk before I seen it in Morrison's and that beer festival. I think it was 2019 now. These years, they've gone crazy, haven't they? So I only know of them since 2019, you know, and I've learned a lot more about breweries around the country. Good evening. And, you know, these fellas or ladies, you know, could be men or women. Very good, thank you. American firm. Ooh, Marstons have a lot of debt. That's for sure. Yeah, good evening. And it does look lovely. And if you've been watching the Northern Monk beers that have come into the shop, I don't mean from the website, because obviously I watch more supermarket beers than I do, you know, I do watch from low cost and adventure beer, but I do watch the supermarket beers. And these fellas, they have brought one box ticking beer after another out. I mean, I've got as many as 7 of those beers from Northern Monk. And this patrons project that they're doing is really interesting. I had to really search for the name of the beer. I thought it was called 2701. So you look on the back and there's a 2701 there. And I think, is that the name of the beer? And then I looked and it says Holidays in the Sun. And I thought, that's the name. So, yeah. Oh, what a warm day today. I don't know if it's warm in your part of the country. But today, absolutely spring-like. And unfortunately, it's going back to winter tomorrow, but you can't win them all, can you? North Star was bloody awesome. Absolutely gobsmackingly good. You know, we're all lucky. You know, beer drinkers 30 years ago, when it was all traditional stuff. Yeah, I know. It was... I am truly taken aback by the generosity. That's some amazing generosity. And I know how much these beers cost, because I go on low cost a lot of the time looking at the beers, seeing what there is, seeing what's out there. And apparently next week he's having some nice draft beers. It is one of the ones, yes. Yeah. What a cracker of a beer. Obviously, you've never seen... It's not something I don't think you'll see in shops. I think it's straight from Northern Monk's website. But again, Northern Monk, if anybody from Northern Monk watches this, you are flipping brilliant brewers. But it's the range of beers they do. They do everything. And to get people to like your beers, you've got to be doing a wide range. You know, you don't want to be just doing all stouts, because, you know, not everybody likes stouts. Not everybody likes IPAs. You know, so to do a wide range is good. Yeah. So 8.7%, definitely in the Baggy Avenue. Good evening. Second beer I've already reviewed. This will come online later. Straight after this review, I'll actually put it on. I like to do one review, non-live, and then one live review. But that's what I reviewed earlier, about 10 minutes ago. And gotta say, very good. I love Blandford Fly. You know, I love ginger beers, you see. So ginger and the darkness together, woof. No, I'm hoping to go in tomorrow. We're going shopping tomorrow morning. It was Lidl, yeah, that's all. I couldn't remember who did it. Yeah, I tell you what, woof. I wasn't expecting much from it. One of the subscribers of the channel actually said to me, "Oh, you want to try that? It's really nice." So I did, and wow, I was actually surprised. It was really good. Another of those beers where you can't get the ABV. If someone was to say to me now, "What's the ABV? What do you think the ABV is on that?" And is it that the juicy beers are deceptive? Because this fella, it's 8.7%. I can see it on the bloody can. Doesn't taste anything like an 8.7. It tastes like a 5% or even lower. But by the time I get to the bottom of the glass, I'll know it's an 8.7%. Jail Ale. I've got Jail Ale. Just there. Future review. At some stage, at least. Yeah, there's some good beers amongst those. I would love to see Aldi, Lidl, and the other supermarkets have a special area for breweries to put kegs on, anything, bottles, kegs, pint in a box, and now help out their fellow industries. Yeah, very juicy. The nose is more subtle now. I'll do these two now, and I might have a few beers later up the house. I've bottled up my Amarone tonight, so I had to bottle it because the bloody barrel was leaking. So yeah, the wife wasn't amused. There's all bloody red wine all over the floor in the dining room. So it's not a Coke, obviously, but that's the Amarone. And oh my God, what a quality beer wine that is. And I shall be giving it another review in a few months' time. That's if it lasts that long, obviously. But we are coming up to spring now, so spring's more about spring and summer, more about whites and reds. I dare say I'll have a couple tonight, obviously. Take one of my own brews up the house. I've got my American oak aged rum ale. I've got loads of that, so I might take some up the house and have a couple of pints. Good evening. So this is an absolute cracker of a beer. Juicy. Tastes like a 5%er. 8.7%. Wow. And I've got to say, whether you've got the money or not, obviously this was gifted, so, you know, but low cost, flipping heck. I was on there again earlier, and their range that they've got on is bloody awesome. I can't wait for this spring and summer. Yeah, no work. Yeah. I don't miss working in Sainsbury's. I love the beers, wines and spirits department. It was amazing. The bargains we used to have were out of this world. If I was still doing beer reviews, then, shit, I'd have had so much beers, you know, for cheap. And I've actually got mates who still work on the beers, wines and spirits, but I'm not being supplied any beers off them, which is most, you know, disconcerting. I was hoping for some beers off them, but no, you can't win them all, can you? You know. I suppose I don't think, Raggy needs some, but, I know when I worked on there that I had such a supply of beers. Bloody hell. Underneath my stairs, I had 10 crates of beers. Underneath all my kitchen cupboards, I had hundreds of bottles. Good evening. Very well, thank you. I mean, for me, good evening. For me, moving into, I would love to work in a brewery at some stage. When I get to when I've had enough of gardening and I've got enough money, good evening, I would love to go into the brewery trade. It's such an interesting trade. If you don't need the money, obviously at the moment, I do, so it's tough. Oh, God. There's not many times that I'm truly shocked and flabbergasted. And, how anybody could be that generous is unbelievable. I mean, as people know, beers aren't cheap. And I spend, on average, about 30 quid a week. And on average. And I mean, I do it because I love tasting new beers. It's not just about getting drunk. If I wanted to get drunk, I'd drink basic cider or Lambrina. But yeah, it's that tasting new beers, and it's so interesting, isn't it? It's a great world to be in, especially at the moment. I think low cost at the moment because of COVID. The business model is absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, I love it. I do. I love this British culture archive as well. Flipping it. Matt, who's the boss of Low Cost, he must be doing some amazing business. And if you look at their site, Smiling Grape is their site. They do beer trips around the world as well in normal times. Like it's on about doing a Las Vegas beer trip. And obviously, if you've got the cash and if you can go away, what an amazing thing to do. Going around all with a load of blokes, all of you, all fans of beer. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I'll have a look. Oh. Although I'll need to put the label back on later because oh, right. So yeah. So on there's a load of information as well. That is neat. Good evening. So yeah, if you do get this from Low Cost or Northern Monk, if you see it at Northern Monk, wow. So notes from the brewer, Olicana, Idaho 7 and Citra. Who's knocking on? This IPA is the first beer in a brand new Patrons Project series in collaboration with the British Culture Archive. Isn't that awesome? And on the back, a list of names. Yeah, it's not easy to see. But yeah, that is awesome. British Culture Archive is a non-profit resource set up to document, highlight and preserve the changes in British culture and society through documentary photography. That's awesome. That is good. Fair play. Yeah. And big 50. Fucking hell, don't remind me. I think it's good to learn about the brewers. They're much of as the firms are, but the person who brews the beer, they are icons because they're brewing something. Yeah, I've never seen that before. That's different. And again, brilliant. I love that. I love people getting recognition that they deserve. I mean, when I worked at Nottingham City Council, they used to have the press come round taking photographs. You know, when we won competitions, and I always stood at the back. And one year I designed all the flower beds, and we actually won Britain in Bloom that year. And, well, the flower beds on the Arboretum. And I actually stood at the back and made sure everybody else got in the picture because I didn't want to get in the picture on my own. You know, I felt such a twat. No, it's different, isn't it? It really is different. Fair play to them. I love that. It's good evening. I tell you what, it tastes like a 5% or even less. It's 8.7%, but it's a juice fest. Have you? Shit. I better look younger. Oh, bloody hell. There was a beer the other night that was juicy like this. I know. But 8.7, but you don't know it's 8.7 until about 20 minutes time when I'm feeling tanked. It is. Oh dear. Can't read it now in the eyes. Double dry hop, double IPA. 8.7%. It's called Holidays in the Sun. God, can't wait for it, can you? You know, actual holidays in the sun. Oh, well, roll on when normality strikes. If there's something today, now it seems there's vaccines coming out from all angles. I get a bollocking for doing that, falling asleep early. I've actually been doing beer reviews for 2.5 years, but I've been drinking real ales for at least 11 years now. And I'll tell you what, how they've changed over the years. Oh, I don't know, I've not heard that. You've got to give, you know, Northern Monk, bloody amazing brewery. Some of the beers that they've come out with. I mean, in that beer hall yesterday, there's 2 of these patron ones, I think, and 2 or 3 of their normal ones. You know, if there's something about the craft beer generation that's come, it's not only has it brought a lot of people. Bless you. It's brought a lot of people into the real ale industry, drinking beers, and it's brought a lot of women in. It's brought a lot of young people in, and it's nice. And then people are brought in through the craft side, and then they start trying the traditional beers, and vice versa. And you know, going forward, once we're out of lockdown, I reckon the beer industry will fight back so fast. I think some of the best home brewers in the country, some of the best brewers out there are from a homebrew background. Obviously, they've got the grain kits. I'm not talking about like the likes of me who brew actual, you know, ready to make kits. But these people are doing their own. Good evening. Oh yeah, awesome can. I mean, look at the story on the can. I mean, that is brilliant, isn't it? There's a background story to it. It has. You know, when I first came into Sainsbury's 10 years ago, well, 11 years ago now, Brewdog had just started to come on the shelves then. And Punk IPA, I need to get rid of that bugger. That's it. I can see myself now. Not that I really like to see myself, but Brewdog, Punk IPA, their 6-pack was on the shelves. Didn't really sell well. And you look now, flipping heck, thank you. And you look now and craft beers. When I left 5 years ago, the tins, beers in a tin. Oh, cheers. Beers in the tin were on the way out. Everything was in bottle. Nowadays, everything craft is in cans. Traditional stuff, 99% of it in bottles. And I tell you what, the craft stuff has been amazing. You know, we truly are in the middle of such a fantastic time. If you look at gin as well, I mean, gin has exploded since I left in 2015. There's every conceivable bloody variety of gin that you could ever think of. I mean, I was in Menorca and we went into a gin distillery and they had, about 30 odd different types of gin, all these flavoured gins. Walked in sober, first call of the day. And you had these like pods that you could go up and just try the gin. So we did, one of each. Walked in sober, walked out pissed. For free. And I actually bought 2 bottles of gin as well because I felt daft. Yes, very decent. Yeah. It's a juice fest. You won't think it was 8.7%. And please, make sure you read the story. Peel back the label. And it was Bullman who, Beer Reviews, who said that. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I wouldn't have remembered otherwise. Yeah, I've got a memory like a sieve. But yeah, can't fault Northern Monk for that, can you? You know, absolutely awesome. A bit more muted than those now, but oh, the taste, flipping heck. You'll love this. If you like your juicy beers, it's juicy. There's no bite. Tropical juicy. God knows what you're going to taste out of it. You know, you can taste the normal, like melon and that, but it is lovely. And now, 20 minutes in, I'm starting to feel walloped. That 8.7%'s coming. I can feel it. Yeah, I used to take piss out of my mates for gin. So it was woman's drink. Yes. You can taste that hoppiness in the back end. But it is lovely. John Smith's Best Bitter or Extra Smooth was the very first review. That's sad, isn't it? Fucking hell. I've done about 2,000 reviews since then. Yeah, definitely going to make a ginger beer home brew. When I get some pennies, that's one of them. It's going to cost me about 45 quid to do because I'm going for the Ragged Avenue. Oh, bless you. Can't fault free whiskey, can you? You know. Hey, Russian lady texting. Job's a good one. I remember on the chat rooms years ago, Excite Chat, and I'm talking some years ago now. And me and a mate of mine, he's been on here before. His name's Banger Tree. We used to work together, and we used to terrorise them chat rooms. We used to terrorise the chat rooms, taking the piss out of people. And then you get people come on and making out the women, but the blokes. So always be careful of that. You know, make sure if you're talking to her that you can actually see her in real time. I think all beer has its place and time. At a certain time of day, you walk into a pub, you're thirsty, you've been at work all day, you look at the pub, they've got no craft beers on, there's John Smith's or there's Stella. And all of a sudden, you'll drink it and it's the best beer you've ever tasted because at that moment, at that time, it was. You can't beat good company, can you? I have to remember sometimes that my family, my mates of my family watch this, and I have to be careful what I say because I could drop myself in the shit. So I don't. even though I've had a beer. Oh, ex-workmates. So yeah. that, yeah, like you say, on any day, that first beer that hits the spot, Spear cider lager, rather, not lager. Yeah, no, she won't watch my beer reviews. Fucking hell. Yeah, Bishop's Finger. Yeah, I mean, who came up with that name, eh? It just sounds so wrong. Bishop's Finger. I mean, we know what church people do, and you know they like their victims young. Bishop's Finger. Good evening. And what a name for a beer. I mean, ow. You know, there's a certain amount of piss taken in that. I tell you what, you know, you see these ice cream vans going about. COVID's on. Why the hell would you not have beer vans going round? What I'll do, if I remember tonight, I'll actually put a channel on the comments when this shows up, because it'll be either late tonight or tomorrow morning, and I'll put the Facebook page on. But yeah, I mean, somebody at is it Shepherd Neame? I forgot now. Fucking have had a drink and tell, can't you? Jesus Christ, the brain's going. Yeah, Shepherd Neame, Bishop's Finger. Okay, now, yeah, sure it is. Right. So the CEO of Castle Rock Beers, I'm sure he lives around the corner from me, because he came to my house and brought me. I did a review of Screech Owl, and I did it in like a Guinness glass or whatever. And he actually said to me, "Can I bring you a glass, a Castle Rock Brewery glass, so you can do Castle Rock Brewery beers reviews in a glass?" And I said, "Yeah, fine." So he came. I'm sure it was him. He came round, and he brought me 2 beers and the Castle Rock Brewery glass. And yeah, that's why I've not seen him. I think his name's Colin Wild, and a lovely bloke. And he did live across the road from me as well. Now, that conversation's gone different since I last looked. If you see the CEO, I'm sure his name's Colin Wild. I'm sure it is. I know there was a bit of a kerfuffle at Castle Rock. There'd been some, I think it was racist or inappropriate comments, and it was online. And obviously these days you've got to be so careful what you say, you know. And you like the Bishop's Finger, bless you. I'm not saying anymore, but yeah, yeah, I'm sure his name's Colin. Who the hell's Kenneth Barlow? Oh, sorry, you're there. Fucking hell, you can tell I've had a drink, can't you? I can't see the comments now. Oh, shit. On Castle Rock's website, there was there was a thing about inappropriate comments and something to do on Facebook or something, and there were investigations going off. Very surprising that they put it in the social media, to be honest. I am feeling that 8.7. Happy birthday, Pat Keys. Enjoy the lockdown, as I'm sure we all are. I mean, to be fair, COVID's not been that bad for me, but there you go. to be fair, oh, bless you. Happy birthday. I've had a lockdown birthday as well. And it sucks because we normally go out, you know, to a pub. We have a meal. I have steak, of course, you know, nice Malbec, maybe a drop of wine, red wine, of course. Did I? Oh, bollocks. That's what you get for being drunk. Yeah. I mean, my wife, last year, we went to Miller and Carter, the steakhouse, and we went on the very last day before the lockdown, and we had a cracking meal. Just under 100 quid for two of us, though. Fucking hell, steep. Yeah, bless you. 300 pints in the shed. I don't think I've got that much. Yeah. You do pay a price for it. You know, it's not cheap, but the quality is there. Bloody hell. What's the drinking tonight, Mr. Kent Beer Reviews? Yeah, Miller and Carter. I love their steaks. You can't fault them. We haven't got one of them in Nottingham. Tomahawks, they're expensive. Bloody hell. That's the one I go to as well. What used to be the Three Crowns. Three Crowns? It used to be the buffet. Not far away from Cockcliffe, my workplace. And yeah, it's a nice restaurant there. We got served by a great girl. Oh yeah. Sometimes it's really nice to have a decent steak. And supporting local breweries in this time, you know, it's got to be the way, isn't it? You know, if you can. And sometimes supporting the local breweries, you get new beers that you've never had before. Oh, I'm into steak. 7 Mile, yes. 7 Mile in. Yeah. Yeah. And if anything, COVID has taught me is that there are a hell of a lot more bloody breweries on your doorstep than you realised. I didn't realise there are so many breweries in Nottingham. And some of these breweries are absolutely the best in the country. You know, Neon Raptor, Totally Brewed, Black Iris, to name but three. These fellas have got all the multi-award winning breweries, Liquid Light as well. And they're the fellas who make Interstellar Galactic Woman Raisin Stout that I've only ever tasted at a beer festival. 14%. And they sold 700 bottles in 4 minutes. Or cans. And I thought to myself, I went on at 7:20. I thought, right, I'll snag one of these cans now. I don't care how much it costs. I'll have him one because it is the beer I want. And fuck me, 4 minutes, they're all gone. Champion ale. And you know, the first time I drank that, couldn't stand it. Too strong, couldn't stand it. Nowadays, it's a session beer. No, I'm not joking, but yeah, it's a cracking beer. I didn't bother. Was it the Lost Lager? Didn't really bother me, that didn't, to be honest. It was a nice thing that Brewdog did, but very clever. Clever marketing. Those lads, James and Martin, they know how to market stuff. They, with the equity for punks, that is the most clever marketing scheme that you could ever, you know, you get people to buy into your company. You offer them beer at a discount. So they buy into your company, plus they're buying your beer. Your quid's in. Unbelievable marketing. Yeah. They are the kings. You know, you can see why Brewdog are rated so much. Yeah, and they are certainly bandwagon jumpers. For me, I like the stronger stuff that they make. Mr. President, the double IPA. they did a triple IPA the other month. I can't remember the bloody name of it now. There's some great breweries in Scotland, to be honest. Good evening. Oh, I'm not keen on these hard seltzers. I mean, it's just bloody water. I mean, I've got that here, to be honest. And I reviewed that the other week, you know, from Low Cost, the classic lime. And I'm not keen on these waters. They're clever. I mean, they've got the Brewdog bars all around the place. They're, you know, Elvis juice. Yeah, Elvis juice is a goodie. Punk IPA these days, it's a bit old fashioned now, isn't it, really? Double punk, yeah, I wasn't overly bothered about that. Ooh. Yeah, you know, I need to do a snake bite review. Get a decent lager, a decent cider, one that I've already reviewed before, and bang them together. I will do it at, you know, at some stage. So many reviews. There's so much nice beer out there. That's the only problem. Yeah, and that's why I want to do it. I want to do some wacky reviews as well as normal. Get pissed. But yeah, I forgot what I was going to say now. Now it's gone. Don't you hate that when you... Oh, the EU have come in the cunts. So I've just had a thing. The EU have temporarily overridden the Brexit deal over the vaccines. They are wankers. Pardon my French. Yeah, it was loud, right? Sorry about that. Yeah, the EU are being mardy about the vaccines. You know, we, the UK, were the first ones in the world to officially go okay with the vaccines. They're being mardy because it's not rolling out there. So now, yeah, so now they're being arseholes to Britain and stopping things coming into Britain. And now that is naughty. Yeah. Don't you think, whether you agreed with Brexit or not, all the way along, I never heard one single MP, one single European country say Europe, the EU is good for this. No one ever did. All they said was, if you leave Europe, it's bad for you. Yeah, EU, tough. I mean, let's be fair, with all the vaccines that are coming out, at some stage we're going to be flooded, and that's a good thing. Is it? And that's shitty on Northern Ireland, isn't it? I've got relatives over there, you know. I want them vaccinating. It just pisses you off, doesn't it? And they wonder why people don't like the EU. If you look at the news in the last day or so, it's like bully boy tactics. And, you know, we should always stand up to bullies. And it seems like the EU, we're not getting enough vaccines. Right, we want some of the UK's vaccines. AstraZeneca are producing the vaccine all across Europe. But they're saying that's not enough. We want part of what the UK is getting that's produced in the UK. And that's AstraZeneca. I've read this earlier. AstraZeneca is saying, no, part of our contract is all the stuff produced in the UK goes to the UK, which is fair enough, really. I mean, if that's what the contract says, that's what the contract says. So for EU to become in the arse, you know, there's no need for it. It sounds like, you know, someone's being a bully. And they, you know, other countries around the world now will be looking at this and thinking, wow, they're coming the arse. There's no need for that. America especially, you know, even Russia will be looking and thinking, this ain't good for the Europe as a whole, because the EU are just being a dictatorship in what they're doing. Interesting times ahead. You know, with these vaccines, somebody who I know, my sister-in-law, she took Benadryl for a few days. Benadryl's hay fever medicine, and she took that for a few days, and that took the effects off the vaccine down. So interesting, you know. Google it if you can. I missed them last comments as well. Well, you never know with the media these days. You know, the media are shit stirrers. Yeah, prune wine, fucking hell. Don't you notice the last year, the media have been arseholes. Across the board, they've been absolute tossers. I hate them. And that's why the UK are first. You know, the UK basically put loads of orders in across every single vaccine going, just to be at the forefront. And you can't fault them for that. Yes, it's probably cost them a shitload of money. But, you know, when we move out of COVID and the rest of the world's in it, then good for us, you know. And then hopefully we can help everybody else. I mean, I don't like Conservatives, but Boris Johnson, I feel he's done the best job he could. It's a no-win scenario, whatever we do. Yeah, I think we were the first ones in the world to order from everyone, because what they did, they hedged their bets that any one of these viruses was going to come first. So they chucked money in every single direction to get that vaccine. And it was a clever strategy in some ways. And let's be fair, I don't give a shit what vaccine I get, as long as it's safe. And the people in this country will make sure it is. And get vaccinated, and hopefully I won't grow a 15-inch cock. But, you know, I do apologise for lowering the tone. But, you know, you never know, do you? Yeah, there's some things you don't want in life. Right, you can tell I've had a job. I think she would. Yeah. So, Northern Monk, wow, what a juice fest. Yeah. Lovely tropical flavours throughout. At first it tastes like a 5%er. I bet you couldn't. What? I forgot where I was going there. Yeah, doesn't taste like a 5%er, but 20 minutes in, you will feel it. You know, unless you're one of these knock it back within a few minutes. And, you know, I've got to be honest, don't knock these beers back too quick. Enjoy the beer. If you paid £5 or £6 for a can, you know, enjoy what's in front of you. Someone's gone to a lot of effort. And make sure that for those watching this after the live, if you do buy it from low cost, read the information on the inside. It gives you bits about the brewer. Live chat tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Maybe a beer review beforehand as well, depending on what the wife's doing, obviously. Depending on what I can sneak in. But yeah, read the background. The background's so interesting. And that, to me, makes this a killer beer, rather. No, not tonight, no. I've got another beer to come online. There's another review to come online straight after this. I've already done that. Yeah. I'll do one where I'm not too bad, and then one where I'll just waffle. This is the waffle. But, you know, low cost. If you can get this, I shall have a drink later at some stage. Yeah, I'm sure I will, you know, just to help me sleep. I'm sure I will. And I need a wee as well, so I need to end. But yeah, what a cracker of a beer. 8.7%. If you've got it, you'll love this beer. It's a juice fest. What bloody hell was the beer the other day that was a juicy beer? And it was awesome. Was it the Magic Rock one? What are the odds? Sure it was. There was a juicy beer the other day that was absolutely gobsmackingly awesome. Anyway, this beer is there. 8.7%. And even so, you know, it's hitting me now. And I'm sure it'll hit me when I get up the house. When I walk out the shed and start to walk to the house, the air. This is my second one of the day. So, yeah. And I've actually been good today. Hey, there's a novelty. Maybe not later. When the wife falls asleep and I come down and I come on down the shed and think, yeah, what can I have? Shall I have a bottle of wine or shall I drink some spirits? Hey ho, you never know. But yeah, Northern Monk, you know, outstanding. So as a fan of beers, I'm so proud of this company. They've come to Morrison's in 2019 in the beer festival. Them, Siren Craft, Wild Bible. Is it Wild Bible? I'm sure it's Wild Bible. No prune tonight. And you know, and since then I've seen a steady progression of their beers on the you know, the national stage. Yes, definitely. Tomorrow night's beer chat, and we're talking about St. Peter's and their new boss. And you know, I really do like St. Peter's. More of a traditional brewery, but unbelievable. Some of their beers are absolutely box ticking. If you've never had their winter ale, their Christmas beer, their old style porter, you're missing out. Morrison's mostly. Out of 5 before I pee myself. Yeah, should be a good night. Out of 5 for me, and both are beers you can homebrew. And if you're a fan of brewing your own, bloody hell, you know, St. Peter's beer kits, I think they're made by Muntons, if I'm being honest. But as long as you stick to the instructions 100%, you will get the quality beer as good as what comes in the bottle. Maybe not as good, but not far off, you know. Plum porter. Oh. Cream stout, 6.5%. And you know, at St. Peter's, they've got a load of wonky labelled stuff. And if you ring them up, you can get something like cream stout for like £1 or so a bottle. Worth going. I'm going to piss myself in a minute. So, out of 5, it is a great beer. Got to be honest. It's not the best beer I've ever had in the world, but it is a great beer. Out of 5, definitely a 4.64 out of 5. Yeah. And I'm very careful about, you know, the scoring structure. You know, scores don't really matter. What matters is, there's some close ones there. Yeah, I like it. What matters is that the aroma was bang on. The taste was immense. The ABV was very low at the beginning and bloody hell towards the end walloped you. And that's a sign of a good beer. And I absolutely loved it, which is really where it should be at. And the can design, the backstory, that is how all cans should be. It's all about, you know, as fans of beer, I want to know what goes into the beer. I want to know the background. Not that I can see it in this chuffing light, but, you know, it is great. And as for that, I'm going to end the beer review because I'm dying for a wee. Thank you everyone for commenting, subscribing, and it's been a great one. And yeah, I've got my Chinese on the way too. Hey, don't know what I'm getting. Unless the wife's just ordered me something. Thanks for watching. See you soon. See you tomorrow. Cheers. Or maybe earlier. You never know.